Sonic fans are insane, in the best way possible. Since the fandom's inception, there have been countless talented creators and artists that have brought great things to the franchise. Just take a look online. This community is filled with so many talented people. Corn Art, Trizzy Fizzy, Evan Stanley, Pocho, and so many more incredible artists have brought great light to the Sonic art scene, some of which have gone on to do work for official Sonic media. But one fan, one artist, went above and beyond and created a masterpiece that, believe it or not, would lead him down a long, unexpected road to eventually saving the entire franchise. Now, what could this masterpiece possibly be? Is it some fantastic fan movie? A fan game of quality that rivals even the official products? No, this masterpiece in question is a silly little webcomic known simply as Sonic's Big Fat Adventure. Some of you might have heard of it. It's been around for nearly 2 decades at this point, and some of you might even know its creator. He's still a widely prominent figure involved in the franchise. For those of you that don't know, I'll keep that a secret until after we've gone through the comic. Now, what in the ever-loving fuck is Sonic's Big Fat Adventure? To put it simply, a parody, and a really good one at that. It really highlights how absurd some of the concepts of this series are, namely its characters and their designs. It's also just a really silly read, but instead of just explaining to you how this comic twists the original material, I think it would be more beneficial to experience it firsthand.
Sonic's Big Fat Adventure.
Hey Sonic, I kidnapped all your friends and turned them into robots.
Well, damn it! How am I gonna cross this thing?
Maybe I can be of assistance.
The hell are you?
It's Arms! Sonic's new best buddy, a magical kitsune. Kitsune is Japanese for two-armed fox.
Even though I was born with these 2 freakish arms, I learned how to fly with them, and now I can help you cross. Grab on tight.
Sometime later.
Oh, great! A wall!
Jeez, you're kind of a bitch.
You take my emeralds!
Oh, Jesus, I don't have your stuff, man! Don't hurt me!
Oh, my mistake. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Nipples, the enchilada. I can break through stone with my rock-hard fist nipples. Boy, it's getting kinda chilly today, huh?
Sometime later. Again.
You know who probably took your emeralds? Eggman. He's a dick.
Ooh? But where can I find this Eggsman?
Hey guys.
He's been following me all day.
So Sonic, are these your friends?
Yes.
Boop, robot.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Eggman! You take my emeralds! Yes. With the help of my associate, Buttface the Rogue.
All the world's gems are mine.
Oh, come on. My emeralds.
Quick, Sonic! Use the power of the Chaos Emerald!
Alright, let me see my...
Now! Do it now!
I think I would like to just go home now, everybody.
Oh my. Oh, but I have one last trick up my sleeve, Sonic. Behold, Original the character. Do not steal. No!
Sonic, you did it.
No, Elise. We are going to do it. Right now.
The end.
What a big fat adventure. Thank you to my good friends who graciously lended their talented voice work to this dumb little video. Now, I hope you have a pretty good understanding of why I enjoyed this comic so much. It points out such oddities in the series that otherwise you wouldn't normally bat an eye at. Let's look at Tails, or in this comic's case, Arms. He was born with 2 freakish arms, but learned to accept them and taught himself how to fly. Now, yeah, you'd probably think it's absurd that someone would use their strange limbs to fly, but is it really much different than the original material? Not at all. We're just normalized to the idea. Tails in canon was bullied, and rightfully so, for being a freak with a hideous second tail. But he didn't let that demotivate him from embracing it and learning to fly like a helicopter with it. A fox flying like a helicopter with his 2 tails? That's bizarre. But to regulars of the series, and I bet even most people, it just seems normal given the oddities of this franchise already. Knuckles' fist spikes are highlighted too. Like, what are they really? Extra stubby fingers? Tumors? Claws, maybe? Something that's never really been pointed out in the main series, and people just seem to accept it. For the most part. One of my friends who's never had an interest in Sonic asked me what they were all about recently. But anyway, the artist went with an unusual, maybe more uncomfortable interpretation. Fist nipples. The only thing I feel isn't meant to point out an oddity and more make fun of the series is Elise's inclusion. The panel of her and Sonic making out is drawn incredibly uncomfortably. As it should be too, that shit is fucking disgusting. I get Sonic 068 is done to the moon and back, but this is pretty justified. Plus, the comic came out in 2009 originally. I think it's fair that they made a few jabs at it since it was pretty recent at the time. Now, besides all that pointing out the weird stuff, I think this comic is generally just a really, really funny read. The arc is really good, the characters are consistently very expressive and incredibly memeable. I like it a lot. The dialogue gives me a good chuckle too. Like mentioned earlier, freakish arms. Now, if you don't already know, you're probably wondering, who the hell made this comic? How could someone who made a masterpiece such as this top themselves and save the Sonic series? Well, they didn't, for one. This is probably the peak of mankind's creations. But to answer your second question, drumroll please. Tyson Hesse. Yes, this one, the very same. Tyson started his career as a webcomic artist in 2006. His debut was a comic he produced called Boxer Hockey. This series followed a team of characters which play a sport called, you guessed it, Boxer Hockey. In 2009, around the same time of Sonic's Big Fat Adventure's creation, the comic started being released less and less, with its last page being posted in August of 2014, and confirmation of its discontinuation around a year later. As far as I know, there's not an exact reason for this, other than getting more and more important obligations, which all ties back to Sonic's Big Fat Adventure. Tyson ended up pitching Sonic's Big Fat Adventure to Archie Comics, the producer of all official Sonic the Hedgehog comics at the time. And I guess they saw exactly what I see in this comic and he was hired as an artist for the company. Specifically on the Sonic comic. He worked for Archie up until their Sonic run was discontinued, while occasionally branching out and being led on other projects in the series, including working as the animation director on trailers and cutscenes for Sonic Mania and Sonic Mania Adventures, and director of Team Sonic Racing's Overdrive shorts. But soon he was approached with an even bigger task. Everyone remembers when the first Sonic movie was coming out and that very first teaser trailer dropped. The series was already at a low point, following off the mediocrity of Forces and Team Sonic Racing and Boom somehow still being fresh in people's minds. When that first movie design was released upon people's screens, they hated it! And wrote the movie off as another failure in the pile of slop the Sonic franchise had produced. But there were some who went to immediately pressuring the studio to change Sonic's design to be less trauma-inducing and fit the original game's look much better. And they actually listened. They got to work on remaking Sonic's model. But they couldn't just hire some nobody that doesn't know what a Sonic is. No. They needed an expert. Tyson was brought on as lead character designer for the redesign of the movie. His design was teased pretty early on with this image of Sonic's hand, with the full model being revealed several months later in the next trailer for the movie, and it was phenomenal. It got everything right. It was expressive, cute but cool, and actually looked like Sonic. This completely changed the public perception of the movie, and it actually ended up being a pretty great success. But it didn't stop there. Due to the success of the film and its follow-ups, which Tyson would go on to assist with, Sonic Team would take note on a lot of what they did, and put those ideas in their upcoming game, Sonic Frontiers. Kishimoto has stated that The first movie really caught me by surprise. We've been focusing on how Sonic was supposed to run, jump, and fight within our games, but the movie showed us an entirely new approach. They came up with a great interpretation of Sonic, which really became a huge inspiration for Sonic Frontiers development. Being completely honest, I really doubt that if the movie wasn't as appealing as it was in its final state, it would not have had the same influence. And no matter what your opinion is on the game, we all know how successful Sonic Frontiers was in giving new life to the franchise. So in a way, that success can at least be partially attributed to Tyson Hesse. And furthermore, his success, in a way, all started with Sonic's big fat adventure. So, did this frankly awesome comic actually save the series? No, not really. There are a lot of factors to why Sonic has had a resurgence in the last few years, such as the media just actually being good. I do think Tyson's work definitely contributed a lot, and he's still making great quality content for the series. That cannot be undermined. But he and his start with Sonic are certainly not the only reason. Like I said earlier, there are countless talented creators and artists that have brought great things to the franchise. I just found it incredibly interesting that in this case, someone who's had so much influence got his official start from a comic as goofy as this. You know what else is goofy? Subscribing, following me on Twitter, and watching more of my videos whenever they come out. I mean, let's be real here, I'm running on a consistent every other month schedule, but at least I'm consistent.